Well, tonight I'm talking with John Gibbons, who's the director of our Reserves, Youth and Academy, really to give an update on that area of the football club. We don't always hear too much about it. We've just seen a cracking game tonight, by the way, with the under-18s beating Dover Athletic, knocking them out in the FA Youth Cup, so that's really good news. But John, I just really wanted to get some thoughts from you on how you see the youth sides going forward. What are we trying to achieve here at the club with that side of things?
Sure. Well, you're right, Jim. I mean, the board have asked me to take an overview of the academy, the Ryman Youth, and the reserve side, and the role there is to try to provide as many quality players as we can to Steve McKim. Steve has got a great policy of involving lads in first team activities wherever possible and getting boys out on loan. So, and Steve's also given us a clear brief of the sort of player that he's looking for. So working to a clear brief is really important in player development. We know, what's required of us, and our job's to crack on and do that. So working from the top down, really. I mean, the reserve team, we play in the Suburban Premier League, and it's a men's league. It's very physical. So it's a good grounding in terms of lads that haven't been exposed to non-age specific football. And we get a real wide range of teams. We play Woking, we play Boreham Wood, and then we might play a side that no one's heard of. So it's a rather a mixed match, and therefore, in order to really ground players for our first team, Steve likes to get the boys out on loan when they're ready. And we've, as you know, got Tashi out at the moment. Stevie Pagnani's been out, and there's other lads that I'm sure will follow that route. Hopefully to come back and work very well in the first team. Then of course we've got our Ryman under-18s, which Jay Stubblefield manages. We've seen them, as you say, play a great game tonight against Dover. And we've got some real quality in that side. And our job again is to nurture that, protect them from overuse and overplay. And also set the right tone and the right environment for them to play, not only to develop as footballers, but to develop as characters as well. And then we've got the academy, which is based here at the club, and again all part of that development programme, linked with an education programme. So that side of it is building and thriving and working pretty well at the moment, Jim.
That's excellent. And I think some of our supporters might be surprised to know that you talk about the academy, but it actually provides a formal education as well as a football side, is that right?
It does, yeah. We work with a partner educator called SCL. They provide education for academies all over the country, pro clubs, West Ham, Portsmouth and others. So they come down to the club every day and provide a good quality standard education for the boys that can get them to, it's an A-level equivalent course that they do. It can get them onto university, it can get them into teacher training, it can get them into sports coaching, and hopefully if they can supplement their income through a semi-pro football career, they can have a very nice lifestyle indeed.
And then, of course, we have an under-16s and an under-13s, don't we?
We do, yeah. I mean, obviously the target there is to have quality sides at all age groups. The rebuilding programme we've been doing at the club from the youth section recently has been concentrating on working from the top down. So this year we've got a fresh under-16 group. They're developing very well under David Taylor's leadership. And after a slow start, they picked up. They're doing very well. Obviously, we'd like an under 15 and under 14, but rather than sort of, we want quality. So it's as I say, we've had a rebuilding process from when we had Johnny Elwood leave the club and go on to do different things. And Johnny worked hard to build a group here, and some of whom he took with him, which happens in football. The rebuilding programme that we've got going now is now gaining pace. We've got two of the academy boys leading on a community programme to bring the real youngsters into the club. So it's early days in, as I say, in our rebuilding programme, but things are taking shape very well.
And that's an interesting point, just picking up on that. That's Don Welsh and Callum Adonis-Taylor.
Correct.
And they're doing these Saturday morning sessions, which I think is really important for the community. This is where we're starting to become a community-based club, or we are a community-based club.
Absolutely, Jim. I mean, the important thing, the target really, is to try to make Longmead a hub. A hub for football, a hub for sort of the social activities locally, and obviously that the team working on the activities that take place here at the Marquee and otherwise are doing an absolutely fantastic job. The target now is to link all that together. And as you say, the academy boys, they do their coaching badges as part of the education program that I mentioned, and to convert that into resources that we can use in building this community hub starts to really make the whole thing glue together, and we join the dots up and make a full picture.
Brilliant. And just to round it off, and I know it's perhaps not your direct control, but you obviously do have an interest in it, the ladies team, of course, which Dan Coleridge is managing, and they seem to have got off to a good start, so that kind of completes the picture in a sense, again very community based.
Indeed, yeah. I mean the interesting thing, and I've been at the club for a long time, and I was at the club my playing days a long time ago, and the club's got a real integrity about it, Jim, and I know that we all, I'm sure you do, feel very strongly about that. To see the ladies side and the ladies squad develop as they are doing, to see Dan really leading that from the front is fantastic. Our job now is to try to glue all these things together, and Steve Church's mantra is always about it being one club. And we just, and sort of the senior youth part, if that makes sense, to be part of the one club philosophy, and to work with Dan, to work with community side, and to work with Steve is really what it's all about.
Definitely. Well, thanks very much indeed, John. That's very interesting. It all sounds very, very exciting, and thanks for your time.
That's a pleasure.
Thanks, John. Well, Jerry, many congratulations. I thought that was a terrific performance tonight by our lads.
Yeah, we did well. I just felt we lacked that little bit of control in the first half, but that's what you get when it's still 0-0. Sid missed a good chance, put it over. Richard went through when we felt he perhaps could have gone round the keeper and chipped it straight to. If one of those goes in, I think we settled down after 10-15 minutes, but it really took the goal in the second half to really calm us down and play how we want. But overall, I thought it was similar to Phoenix Sports. Once we got the goal, we didn't look back, and we deserved the win.
We were wondering a bit when that first goal was going to come. I must admit.
Again, very similar to the Phoenix game. Yeah. It really was, and I think I've got to look at that, whether it comes from me and Billy as well. But I mean, as a management team, whether we sort of place so much importance on getting that first goal and calming us down, and when it don't come, we're a little bit agitated. We're sometimes we're pushing passes through that we wouldn't normally push through, that we might go to the side. But again, it was a good display. But we've got so much to learn, Jim, as you can see by the amount of yellow cards we've picked up. And
well, I was going to mention, and okay, yellow cards for fouls, that happens,
of course,
but there was a little bit of back chat occasionally.
Yeah, and it's not good enough. And we've obviously Steve McKim's been in the dressing room there, and I'm not just saying it because he's the manager and he's above us, but he's 100% right. And without the right temperament, as a young player, you're not going to get on in the game. That's when you're going to end up being a pub football player and be superb. But these players have got talent, as you can see, and we don't want them to ruin that with a poor temperament. And we're 3-0 up. We're 3-0 up, and we're still challenging the goalkeeper for a football, and we're still sort of having a little back chat to the referee. That's not acceptable at any point. But when you're 3-0 up with 10 minutes to go, I don't understand the logic there. So we've got a lot of maturing, a lot of growing up to do. It's obviously they've got to take a bit of responsibility as individuals, but it's our responsibility as a management team to manage it how we can get the best out of it. And if we have to withdraw them from teams and bits and pieces to make them realise is that their actions do have an effect, that's what we might have to do.
But in a sense, with an under-18s team taking the age into account,
of course, and you can see they were similar.
Yes.
They've probably picked up as many yellow cards as what we've got. So, and Phoenix Sports was the same. It's an age thing. They're at that little crossroads of maturity, if you like, and it's an important competition for them. And I understand that, and I understand that even at the end, sticking up for their mate. But you've got a Tonbridge Angels badge on your chest, and right is never wrong. And I think they should be above that. Really, I'd like to think, but hopefully it will come in time. But I'm frustrated with that at the moment. But I don't want it to mar what was a good display.
So we're through to the third qualifying round.
Yep.
Any thoughts on who you might like? Obviously you'd like a home tie going, I guess.
Yeah, I've just been asked the same question from the fella down there, but it don't really bother me. I know we always say that. Obviously we'd like to be at home. I know we've got 161 here again tonight, which isn't bad, for this level. But really, we don't. The draw's Friday, but we don't look beyond the next game. We got Ashford away next Thursday, and that's what we'll be focusing on. And whoever we get. But hopefully, is it regional in the next round?
I'm not sure.
There we
I'm
go.
not sure. I don't know.
Could be anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just to, I've got to mention this. Obviously, the final whistle gone, and everyone's shaking hands, and then suddenly there's a ruckus. And,
well, that's how I saw it,
Yeah.
Jim, as well, really. And there's obviously, I go in the dressing room at the end, and there's lots of adrenaline flying around, and he said this, he said that, but I didn't see it.
No.
I saw what happened afterwards.
Yeah,
I didn't actually see what
yeah,
instigated it. I was
yeah.
having shaking hands with the referee.
Yeah.
But either way, you know, it's not acceptable. You know, and I'm not saying who start. I don't know, but I don't like to see that out on our first team pitch. We're privileged to get out there, you know, and I think our lads should understand and respect that. And like I say, I've got no issue with anyone standing up for themselves or looking after their mate. I really haven't, but at the same time, we've got to realise
It's a learning curve.
we've got to realise where we are. And if that was in a field, if that was over on a park in a field on a Sunday morning with one ref and dads as linesmen, it could have got really nasty. You know, so perhaps we can be fortunate that we were here. But we've come through it.
But well done tonight. It was a great performance by the lads.
Yep.
And we wish you the very best of luck in the next round.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you.